All right, what is going on, guys? Paul James here. Welcome to this video. So I was browsing a Facebook group that I'm a part of the other day, and I saw a post come up, and someone asked, hey, can you share your experience and, what kind of success you've had in the industry? And I saw this post by Shannon, and Shannon said, and then he named a couple other names, and then he named me as well, help me create a six-figure SEO business in a few years. So that kind of really inspired me just to kind of share some more with you guys, because if you leverage SEO and you know how to do SEO, search engine optimization, you can really do some substantial things. And I just think it's amazing what Shannon has done. It's been awesome to see his journey going from what he was doing to building a six-figure business in that short amount of time is just absolutely inspiring. And it's a lot of what drives me to keep creating content for you guys. So I thought that we'd kind of use that as some inspiration and some motivation to start kicking out some more content on lead generation, search engine optimization, that kind of thing. And I was just looking, I did a search here, and you can check this out for yourself too. If you go and Google how big is the lead generation business, so $201 billion, it's expected to be up $201 billion in 2023. In 2019, it was at $129 billion. So by 2023, we're literally expected to double what this industry is doing. And if we look at some of the big players in the industry, I'm talking like the Home Advisor, the Angie's List, who's now rebranded to Angie, if you didn't know. Check out the revenue here. I mean, it's kind of insane. Let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger for you. $0.421 billion. That's a 12% increase year over year for that for the quarter ending June. So kind of insane. If you look at the revenue from 2020, $1.46 billion. So they're literally going up every single year, which really goes to prove that this is probably pretty accurate what this is saying. Now, I thought we would kind of kick this off today with that being said, because just imagine if, of course, you're probably not going to build an Angie's List. You're probably not going to, go and create a company that's doing, what is this, $1.4 billion. And that's okay. You don't have to go and create a $1.4 billion company. But imagine if you could capture just a small percentage of the market share. It would be a significant amount of money still, right? So I thought we'd kick this off with talking about lead generation, or rank and rent, some people call it that. We'll kind of talk about what the differences are, what it is, and what are kind of the next steps if this industry interests you. So basically, lead generation or rank and rent. What you're doing is you're working with local business owners. So like, let's just take a plumber, for example. And your job is to connect the plumber with the homeowner and nothing else really. So you just get paid for making the connection, right? You're just the middleman. You're saying, okay, I found you a homeowner that needs plumbing services. You're a plumber. You need new customers. Here you go. You have a new lead. And that's it. You get paid for that. So you can get paid either per lead, which means that you're getting paid for every connection you make, or what some people do, and this is where the rank and rent comes in, but I still consider it lead generation because lead generation, rank and rent, they kind of go hand in hand, is that you can rent your site out that is generating leads. So they call it rank and rent because essentially what you're doing is you're building a website ahead of time that looks something like this. So this is one of my example websites that I've built to kind of show you what it looks like. And this website is actually getting calls. Okay. You build a website that looks like that and you rank it in Google. We use easy SEO to do this because we're going after stuff that's not super competitive, which means that even if you're not an SEO expert, you can still get started in this space. And I actually think it's one of the lowest barrier to entry things to actually get started with. And basically, you get it ranking, and then some people, they'll just rent out the entire site for maybe $1,000 a month. And no matter how many connections that they make with this plumber and homeowner, no matter how many people come and fill out the form or call the phone number, they're getting paid $1,000 a month no matter what. So that's really the difference between rank and rent and lead gen. Now, if it was lead gen, you're getting paid on per lead. So every time someone fills out the form or makes a phone call, you get paid. So in the case of like a plumber, that might be like $30 or $50 per call or per form submission. That doesn't mean that they get the job or don't get the job. If you were going to charge based on if they get the job or not, then you'd have to charge a lot more than $30 to $50. But that kind of creates a whole complex of issues if you do it that way, because then you have to really know, can I trust this contractor? How are we going to define what's a good job or what's a closed job or not? And what if they have a bad sales team? Like, all that stuff comes into play. So in my mind, how I've always ran my business most of the time, I have a few clients that are exceptions to that rule, but mostly we just charge per lead, meaning whether they close a job or not, we'll just charge a lower amount, like $30 or $50, which adds up significantly still. You know, we're talking if you get 10 leads in a month, which isn't unrealistic for a site like this. You get 10 leads in a month, you're charging $30 to $50, we're talking $300 to $500, and there's not really much that needs to be done once this site is set up. Takes some work to set up, takes some work to get it initially ranking, but once that's done, you know, boom, you're good to go. Now, I actually have a case study of this entire build that I include it with the training in my call tracking software, okay? And it's entire build of this whole site. And basically, I took this site from 0 to actually getting calls, $700 in call volume in 30 days. And within, I think it was 2 to 3 weeks, we were already ranking for some of the longer tail keywords, and within 4 weeks, we were ranking for all the main keywords. So that's what you can kind of expect if you're going after what I'm saying, like a lower competitive niche. So let's talk about what you need to get started. So you're going to need hosting and domain, because you're going to need to build a website like this, right? And hosting and domain, you're usually talking about $10 a year for the domain, and for hosting anywhere from $3 to $10 per month, just depending on what you do. Some hosting companies will give you a discount if you pay like a year up front. That's usually what I recommend if you can afford it, because then you're going to get that discount of where it's a lot cheaper, $3 to $5 a month. So tell me what other business model that you can get started and actually make money with for $3 to $5 a month and a $10 a year domain name, right? It really is non-existent. You're going to next need a niche to target. Okay, so like I've been using in this example, plumber, right? You're going to need to decide on a niche to target. You're going to need to decide on a location to target. So like for this one, I decided to target Cedarburg, which is a city. So you're going to need hosting, a domain, so you can build your website. You're going to need a niche to target, and you're going to need a location to target. Now, this one is helpful, call tracking. What call tracking does is it allows you to put a phone number on your website, and when you put that phone number on your website, the phone number usually costs about $1 per month to rent it. And when you put that phone number on your website, what it allows you to do is it allows you to forward the call from your website straight to this plumber without having to do anything. You don't have to be there answering the phone yourself. It's all tracked. You can see exactly how many calls you sent the plumber and all of that stuff. And you can record the calls as well if local laws allow for it. And you can send out reports to the company showing how many calls you sent so you can get paid. And some software tools like mine, my call tracking software, because I own a call tracking software company that I built specifically for my business, they will allow you to auto invoice as well. Mine is the only one that does that I know of. So you can auto invoice your clients. So literally track all the calls that came in, send an invoice, making this pretty much completely passive. So that's basically what you need to get started with this entire business model. And, you know, to do something like we saw Shannon doing, right? This is something that you can build. That's a real business that is tangible. You're creating like a real business, you know, something that maybe you want to pass off down to your kids one day. I'm going to put a link below this video for my call tracking software. It's not open right now, but if you're interested in building this business and you're really, you're serious about it, I have a course that comes with this call tracking software that goes from start to finish, how to set this whole thing up. And I always tell people, you want to look for someone who's doing what you want to do, right? Like Shannon did. Shannon went and he sought out people like me who were doing what he wanted to do. And now a few years later, he's running a 6-figure business. So that's what you want to do. You want to have an open mind. You want to go and get someone who's already doing what you're doing and try to follow what they're saying. So it can be like watching videos like you're watching right now, which is awesome and that's great. And you can get started that way. But if you want to take things up a notch, I would recommend getting on that wait list. I open it up a few times a year. I'm planning on opening it up again really, really soon. And I will say that when I open it up, it always sells out very fast. I limit the spots of the people who come in because number one, I do this when I have time. And number two, I need to make sure that you're successful with it because you have to think about this. I'm running a software company and I want you to keep using my software company, my call tracking software. So I know that I need to have something like this happen for you in order for you to remain a customer of my call tracking company. So we limit enrollment to a handful of people every time I open the doors. And again, you get the software, you get the course and the training that comes with it. So, and help from me and my team as well. And that's why we limit it. So join that waitlist below the video if you're interested in this topic. Questions, or if you liked this video, let me know what you'd like to see more of. Leave a comment below. And I will definitely try to put up more content that's helpful for you. All right, guys, so we'll go ahead and wrap up this video. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Take care.